Hello and welcome to Quite Audacious with Amanda Swiger. I'm a self-made, rebellious and bold, multi-six-figure photographer whose deep belief in doing things my own way is why I have been so successful. I'm taking my love of audacity and bringing you answers to your actual questions about all things related to building a life and business you love, all for free, because I know the power of information in the hands of audacious folks just like you who are ready to chase their dreams. Alongside answering your questions, I'll be sharing in-the-moment riffs, honest conversations about owning your own business, and give you a behind-the-curtain look at everything I've done to build my business to what it is today. If you've got a question you'd like me to answer, simply DM it to me on Instagram at @theamandaswiger. Nothing is off the table here, friends. So pull up a seat and let's audaciously build the money-making business you love. I'm so glad you're here. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Quite Audacious. I'm so excited that you have decided to spend part of your day here with me, and today we're going to be jumping into something that I have been seeing pop up in a lot of Facebook groups, and I wanted to share with you my opinions on this particular topic, and that is why we give previews at my company for weddings. I think that a lot of times people are like, should I be giving previews? Do they need to be same day? How does that all work? And I'm going to be diving into my thoughts on this. And as with any of these episodes, these are just my opinions. This is how I've built a business. This is what I think. If you hear me say this or talk about anything on this, channel, and you're like, I hate that, full permission to do the opposite or something totally different than what I am doing. I am not the god of photography in any means, and I am all about people doing what feels right and good for them. But sometimes hearing somebody talk through their process will give you ideas and make you realize how you want to do things. So that is my hope here. We give previews, pretty hefty previews for our wedding clients. To be honest, I give previews for everything I do, including boudoir, but I'm going to talk specifically today about weddings. For me, I know what it's like to wake up the day after your wedding and be like, it's over. The high of planning a wedding, all of that stress, and then it suddenly being done is just, and the day flies by. I know that come down is kind of rough. So I want to be a little bit of like a salve to that wound of like, it's all over. I also know that like, you'll start seeing, photos and videos from friends on social media, and those are not necessarily going to be the most flattering photos, and they're not necessarily going to have you be able to let you see all of the different parts of the day. So I want my couples to see their wedding day in a curated, beautiful version pretty dang quickly. For me, I deliver somewhere between 100 and 150 preview images within 72 hours. I used to do same day previews, and then I found that a lot of my couples didn't necessarily love being pulled from their dance floor to look at their images. That is just my client base. I have a lot of one-to-one clients and friends who do same day previews, and their clients love it. This is one of those things where you have to know your client base and your business and like the kind of people you tend to serve. For me, what I found was that sweet spot was the next day, being able to kind of midday send them photos. Now, obviously, if I have a wedding the next day, I'm probably sending them some, preview images first thing in the morning. Occasionally, they'll have to wait until 48 hours. So if their wedding was on a Friday, they might have to wait till Sunday if I have a Saturday wedding. It depends. I tell them 72 hours because that gives me a nice window. But I send them, just some preview images. I'll text them maybe 4 or 5 images right away, get them excited, and then send them a gallery of images. And I want them to see their day in this curated, beautiful version. I do a little bit of each part of the day, some family photos, some getting ready. I always be sure to include I'm not always. There are weddings that I don't, depending on the relationship of my clients with their families. But if they have a good relationship with their family, I always try to include some family photos, partly because parents love me for that. Those are oftentimes immediate prints I see come through on my client galleries. I have an entire course inside VDA where I talk you through how I upsell my products to my clients and their families. But for me, I want to make sure that people are seeing something right away that shows them the entirety of their day. Now, obviously, I'm not going to give them every single moment because that would be their entire gallery. And if you're hearing this and you're like, holy shit, Amanda, how are you giving them that many photos right away? I couldn't even, doing 5 images is too much. For me, I think that when it comes to previews, again, my opinion, I err on the side of sending more like at least 25. You want them to feel like they've gotten a little bit of the whole day, not just a few portraits. Obviously, we love as photographers our beautiful portraits, but I find that our couples really love like the action and the moments and the emotion of their day. And by sending them more photos, I have a higher chance of them having kind of more space to react to their images in a positive manner. And also more opportunities for other people other than just my couple to share their photos. The amount of times bridesmaids, groomsmen, wedding party folks that will tag me in photos on Instagram is all so many. I would say it's probably almost every other wedding. And I love that because that's free marketing for me. So I kind of do approach this both from what serves my couples and what serves Amanda. And I will say, to me, I think this is some of the easiest, cheapest marketing that is available for your business is sending your clients previews. You do not, like I said, have to send as many as I do, but I use AI to help me in this. If you have never heard of Aftershoot, that is what I use to do my culling. I have it do its kind of auto version of it. And then I import every photo, not even just the chosen ones, into Lightroom. And then I go through all of the favorites, the green, which is how I have mine tagged inside of Aftershoot and Lightroom. I go through those photos and kind of at random will flag with a star, which for me is P on my keyboard. And I'll just flag anything that to me stands out. And I just do this at rapid speed. I do them kind of when you're in the preview mode where you can see them all stacked up. That's where I do it. And I just kind of click through, select images. And like I said, my goal is somewhere a little over 100. And that seems pretty easy for me because images will start to stand out, or I'll remember certain parts of the day being like, I loved that photo. And then I just take all of those and I run them also through AI. I used to use Aftershoot for editing. I'm probably going to do this in a subsequent episode. I currently am using Imagen for editing. I'm paying for both. That's what's working for me at this season of my life. I didn't really love the results I was getting from Aftershoot, but I like their culling better than Imagen. So that's where I'm at. I will, like I said, probably do a whole episode on that inside of here, but that worked really well for me. And then I would say 9 times out of 10, those photos, all I would need to do is just kind of go through them and tweak them, and really make sure that I like the way things are, convert some images to black and whites. I like black and white, so I deliver quite a bit of them. And then I export and send them to my clients. And I would say the entire process between importing their images, I import my photos and start backing them up when I get home at night. It's just something that has been embedded in my brain. I don't even go to sleep until I know that they have been at least backed up one other place. And then one of the sets of the original cards are in a safe. That is my personal way of doing this. And then I back them up to a hard drive and also to a cloud, 2 different clouds technically. I'm a little bit of a nut when it comes to that. If that's something y'all want to hear me talk about on here, I'm happy to share my kind of wackadoodle system. I kind of came up with it. Again, it's what works for me. But the entire process of kind of the culling and Aftershoot and then editing their preview of, let's just say 100 images, maybe takes me an hour. It's really not that bad. And to me, that hour of time is well worth it for the social proof and the social sharing that I get from this. And even if I have a wedding the next day, most mornings I'm getting up an hour extra early and doing this, because to me, it is just such a game changer for my business. I will also say that starting at the end of last year, I actually started going through all of the images when I imported them, before I imported them from Aftershoot into Lightroom, and just making sure that I liked the tags on things. And that really helps me clean up my back end process so that I was not tagging images that maybe I didn't want, or, just kind of looking everything over. There are often times where I'm actually going through stuff that I'm like, don't like that family photo. I want to switch it out for this one. That's why I like having all of them there. But I started kind of doing a lot of my wedding previews not the next day. If I had a wedding, I would wait until I could sit down and actually just culling or checking my culling through Aftershoot. And then instead of just pulling favorites for editing their preview, of just running everything straight through Imagen right there. Well, all of the green chosen images through Imagen. And that really works really well for me. I did that for the last, I think, 5 weddings of the year. So usually by Tuesday afternoon, all of my weddings were culled and edited and ready to be delivered. I would only still send them their preview because we like building a little bit of anticipation. But for me, I think that it is very possible to build out a system that allows you to shoot more weddings if you desire. Using AI. And so, like I said, that is my take on that. And if you would like me to talk more about how I use AI inside of my business, let me know and I can add that to a future episode. But I definitely think if you're not doing previews, you should do them, especially for weddings, because there's nothing quite like being able to just make your clients feel super fucking excited. And that's all I've got for you today. And I'll see you guys back here on the next episode of Quite Audacious. Bye, y'all.